In a quiet, forgotten corner of a town humming with the glow of screens, lived Mr. Alder. He was the last of his kind, a traditional toymaker, an age where children's laughter had been replaced by the ping of notifications. His shop, a cozy haven of polished wood and paint, was a museum of forgotten dreams. Hand-carved dolls with soulful glass eyes sat beside whimsical wind-up animals, their tiny gears silent. The air, once thick with the scent of sawdust and the magic of creation, now held only the dust of memories. No one came anymore. The children of the town were lost in their digital worlds, their fingers swiping across cold glass instead of tracing the warm, familiar curves of a wooden toy. One particularly cold night, as snow fell like a soft white blanket over the sleeping town, Mr. Alder put the finishing touches on his final creation. He'd poured all his remaining hope, all his fading memories of joyful play, into this one small figure. It was a little wooden boy with wide, curious eyes and a jointed body that seemed ready for adventure. He named him Pip. With a heavy sigh, the old toymaker placed Pip on the workbench, the single lamp casting a long shadow across the quiet workshop. His work was done. There was nothing left to do but accept that his time, and the time of toys like Pip, was over. He closed his weary eyes, a tear tracing a path through the wrinkles on his cheek. But then a small, creaking sound broke the silence. Mr. Alder's eye snapped open. On the workbench, the little wooden boy, Pip, stretched his tiny arms and blinked. He was alive. He hopped off the bench, his wooden feet making a gentle pitter-patter on the floor. Mr. Alder stared, his heart pounding with a mixture of disbelief and wonder. This wasn't just a toy, it was magic, a spark of life he thought had long since been extinguished. Pip looked up at his creator, his painted face filled with an innocent curiosity. He tilted his head. "Why is it so quiet?" he asked, his voice like the rustling of dry leaves. "Where are the children? Why don't they want to play anymore?" Mr. Alder's heart ached. How could he explain the allure of glowing screens to a creature made of pure, simple joy? He decided to show him. Bundling up against the cold, the old man and the little wooden boy stepped out into the snowy city. The world was lit by an eerie blue glow emanating from every window. Peeking inside, they saw families sitting together, yet miles apart, each person hypnotized by their own device. They saw children in parks, not chasing each other, but staring down at tablets, their faces blank. The vibrant sounds of play shouts of glee, the clamor of a game of tag, the whispered secrets between friends were gone. Replaced by a silent, digital hum, Pip's wooden shoulders slumped. He couldn't understand a world where imagination was traded for a pre-programmed game. They wandered through the frosted streets until they came across a small park. A little girl sat alone on a bench, her face illuminated by her phone, tears silently streaming down her cheeks. Another child had sent her a cruel message. Her world, confined to that small screen, had become a source of pain. Pip's heart, though made of wood, felt a pang of sadness for her. He couldn't just stand by and watch. Quietly, he scurried over, his little wooden feet nearly silent in the snow. He gathered a few fallen twigs and a stray, colorful leaf. With nimble fingers, he fashioned them into a tiny, dancing figure. He made it twirl and leap on the snowy ground in front of her. The little girl looked up, startled, her tears stopped. She saw the little wooden boy and his makeshift twig dancer. A small, hesitant smile touched her lips for the first time that evening. She put her phone down. She picked up a few twigs of her own and began to build a little house for the dancing figure. For the first time in a long time, she was creating something using her own hands, her own imagination. She laughed, a real, genuine laugh that echoed in the cold night air. The sound was like a forgotten melody, and it seemed to wake something in the town. From a nearby window, another child saw the scene and, intrigued, put down their tablet and came outside. The next day, something had changed. The story of the little girl and the magical wooden toy spread like wildfire. A few curious children, bundled in their winter coats, appeared at the door of Mr. Alder's dusty shop. Their eyes, accustomed to the flat glow of screens, widen in amazement at the world of wonders inside. They touched the smooth wood of the spinning tops, marveled at the intricate details of the doll houses, and giggled as Mr. Alder wound up a tin squirrel that chattered and scampered across the floor. Pip stood proudly on the counter, a silent ambassador of a forgotten world. He didn't need batteries or a Wi-Fi connection. He just needed a child's imagination to truly come alive. Soon, the trickle of visitors became a steady stream. The shop was filled once again with the sounds Mr. Alder had missed so dearly, the excited chatter of children, the clatter of toys, and the pure, unadulterated sound of laughter. The digital glow in the town's windows began to dim, replaced by the warm, inviting light of lamps under which children and parents sat together, building, creating, and playing. The park was no longer a place of silent solitude, but a stage for epic adventures, with knights, dragons, and explorers brought to life by the power of make-believe. Mr. Alder stood behind his counter, his heart full. He watched as Pip, now the town's beloved icon, helped a group of children build a magnificent castle out of wooden blocks. He wasn't just a toy maker anymore, he was a guardian of wonder. He realized his work had never been about just selling toys. It was about planting seeds of creativity, about reminding people of the simple, profound joy of human connection. His legacy wasn't in the wood or the paint, but in the spark of imagination he had helped reignite in the hearts of a new generation. The old toymaker smiled, a deep, contented smile. His shop was no longer a museum of the past, but a workshop for the future, and he knew, with a certainty that warmed him to his soul, that the magic would live on. Thanks so much for watching our story. If it touched your heart, please give us a like and subscribe for more tales that celebrate the magic in our world. See you next time.